guys, good afternoon. Anybody ever have a doesn't open from the inside? Yeah, doesn't open from the outside and your door is stuck closed. Well, this is what we're gonna attempt to do. Okay, it's a black interior, so I'm trying to, preserve everything that I can. I'm gonna try a different way this time. So I'm gonna try to see if I could essentially cut this. This is not in bad shape, but I'm probably not gonna save this outer trim to sell. So I have better ones. So I was thinking maybe why not make a video and try to see if I could open it, or how close I could get to opening it. Maybe trying to get in through here, cut this here, remove this trim, and be able to, essentially see if I could get enough room to maybe see what's going on down in here. Get a long screwdriver, maybe push the rod or unlock it manually. So, I guess let's get started. Let's see if I could do that or not. My biggest thing is really, just not wanting to damage this black door panel. This window trim is not in bad shape. I mean, yes, it's got a crack here, but it's not completely gone through, and I could glue it up and fix this area and give it a nice little coat of black, and it would be decent. I mean, nowadays these parts are not easy to get, and you got to try to make do with what you got or what comes. So I guess I know that when I take this trim off, this piece does not bolt to the car. It's actually just, as you see, kind of just there. So let's see. I gotta do this one hand. I don't got nobody holding this. See if I could get it enough. See, maybe I could lift it enough. See if I could get some snips or something. Okay, well, that's one way. I didn't know it would break on me, but that's fine. I'm taking this journey with me. So now, we got a little more room. Maybe see what's going on down in there. Let's see. What do we see here now? I see the handle. Is the rod connected to it? Nope. You see that circle over there? See that circle moving right there? On the left? Over here? That's the fucking hole for the rod. That's where the L-shaped handle would go. So this is gonna open nothing at this point. So let's see what else. I see the cables going to the assembly. This handle broke, obviously, because somebody tried to open it, and for whatever reason this mechanism is stuck. I cannot really get this to lock or unlock. It's just almost like in a stuck position. So I assume someone went to grab this, blink, it broke off. something happened. I broke this window just so that I could do this. I got plenty of spare glass. I was trying to avoid having to really mess with this stuff on the inside. So, you know, I guess we're just gonna have to try to figure it out. I don't even see anything else in there. I don't even see like the cable or the rod, so the rod must have for sure broke off. I almost wish I had. Let's see if I doubt it. I know that this rubber trim comes off and would give me a little more room in here, but it's literally right under the door panel. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it off or not. I mean, if I break it, I break it. I mean, it is what it is, but I'm going to try not to. Let's see. Can I grab it and pull it? You know, again, this is just an experiment. Normally, if this happens, I usually take apart the whole interior. I start with the glove box. I take this seat out. I take the center console out. I take that driver's seat out. It's a lot of work, especially if someone has clean door panels, clean window trims, and they're trying to save them. You know, because try to find a window trim. You know, that's $100, $200 for the window trim. Okay, so I got us a little more room here. Let's see. Let's see if I can mess with the door handle a little bit. Let's see. Get behind here, but I don't want to break this window trim any further. I really don't. What can I do here? I see the cables, but I need to detach them somehow from behind this handle without messing this up. I mean, seems like the window trim on this one is, you know, nice and firm, which means the tabs, all that underneath are pretty intact, which, you know, would make this a pretty decent donor to try to save. Let me see here. Okay, so we know okay, so I'm looking in the door and for sure I see no rod. So that rod is gone. That rod is broken. So what I think I'm gonna try to do is see if I can maybe manually push and see if I can get it open. So what I'm gonna essentially do is I'm gonna get me the longest screwdriver I got, and I'm gonna try to follow those cables, and down there, even though you can't see it here, is you know, the door lock mechanism. I don't know if I can reach it with that. I might have to try something else, or try to find a way to bust, basically just, you know, finish destroying this plastic here and try to get behind this where this stuff meets. I can somewhat see where they go, but again, I'm trying to not break, so you know, this is just an experiment. I think I'm gonna try and bust this out. My son gave me that tattoo. Let's see what happens. Okay, again, you know, there might be someone else, maybe do this better, I don't know, but again, this video was just for experimentation. I gotta open a door that can't be opened anymore. But, you know, that happens quite a bit on these cars. So and the reason I'm kind of busting this up is because this is where the cable is attached to. So if I could in the least get rid of this stuff and know that the cables are detached, I could pull them out. And, you know, a broken handle. Okay, so I don't see them attached anymore. Maybe the handle one for sure is attached still. I can see it. So if I could maybe break this a little more, I could get it unattached. Let me see what's going on here. Oof, no, I don't want to do that. Okay. So I know for a fact that one of these cables is loose. Sorry you don't see what I see, but what I'm looking at is that little ball back there. I need to get that out of this socket. So sorry, this video probably fucking sucks. Bouncing all over the place. If this piece would just come loose, let's see. Nope. Okay. Can you see the ball and the wire? See how it's still attached? So I need to find a way to just, so I can then just work with the cables, because I can pull the cables from right there. Okay, think. What can I do here? Let me see kind of view I can give you. And if I had that second hand, I'm sure I could do it. Come on, it's like when you want something to fucking break, it never does. Okay. Let me see. Let's see what I can do here. Yeah, I mean, I'm having a hard time, but unfortunately, I gotta find a way. There. Okay, so that might have helped me a little bit. Buy me some room. Let's see if I can break this one. Okay. That's what I wanted. Okay. So I got to where the cable is. Now I gotta cut it out. I think I had success in that aspect. So in theory, let's see if I can. Let's see. Okay, so that didn't go over the best. Let's see, what else? I mean, you have other options. Other options would be to essentially, cut a hole right here, and you have full access to this door lock assembly, and you essentially could weld that spot right back in, paint the door. You could take off the fender and take off the door frame. I mean, it's so sometimes these things open up just real easy, and sometimes they don't want to. I think that at this point, trying to get the cables from in here didn't really pan out like I thought. I mean, I did get to them. There's 1 and 2, as you can see. But unfortunately, that didn't help me much. See if this will stay so you can watch. So here is the lock and unlock. And then this one was the unlock. But as you see, we're not unlocking. Probably just finished breaking it from the sound of it. That's fine. I mean, this shit was stuck, regardless. So odds are almost nothing I do is gonna work. I'm gonna see. All right, so I think I give up going that way. I think my next step is to come inside here and try to gain access from inside the car. So let's try to, yeah, lucky. Here's the handle. Somebody broke trying to get it open. So I guess let's try a different approach. I'd like to get the door open. I guess let's see what happens. We can look on there. See if I could find a way to get more room. Just trying to get the glass out that I broke earlier so I don't cut myself. All right. All right, so my next step would be this is kind of like, you know, if this was even loose at all, I would say let's try to get it. Glove box. You know, I mean, I don't want to break this door panel. Looks pretty decent. I don't want to make it worse. So, okay. Thinking here. It's hot in here, so it's like, fuck, you know, my brain is not able to think as good as I want it to. So when this happens, this is what's gonna happen. More than likely, I'm just gonna break that window trim and be done with it. I was trying to save it. If this was a customer's car, before I even got to doing any of this, I would warn them, hey, listen, I'm gonna have to make a choice. Break a window trim, break a door panel. You know, I mean, you know, it is what it is. You don't want to. You're gonna try everything in your power not to, but I feel like in this case, if I want to get this thing open in a reasonable amount of time, the best bet would just be to sacrifice the window trim. You know, I don't really want to, but I'm kind of feeling like that's what I'm gonna have to do. And the reason I say that is because, you know, this usually, like, this is loose here, you know, you could get under, but this one's nice and tight, which means that it's, you know, was worth trying to save, because it probably has all the tabs, it mounts good, you know, all that. Sorry, got a splitter I'm trying to get out here. So at this point, I think that that's what I'm going to try to do. Now that I've looked at it, you know, end of the day, it's you know what can I do? I mean, it wasn't really perfect anyway, but it was worth a shot, especially black. So essentially what I want to do is I want to get right behind here to access these cables and unhook them from where I know they're hooked in. Let's see. So what I did was, you know, basically pry it up. Obviously, there's a lot of tension right now going on these things. But what I'm trying to do is essentially, see, now I got good access to those cables that I wanted to get to. Trying to it's my door panel, you know, so I'm doing what I can, see, to now gain access to that and try again. This is obviously a very extreme case scenario. I had already attempted to open this door other ways. Alright, so here we are. So this is your lock and unlock, and this cable is attached to the handle and is supposed to open, but obviously it is not. Oh my God, why can't I do anything? All right. So whatever it is the locking that is stuck, because it won't lock or unlock. So if it's stuck, it's stuck. It just happens. Okay, so that's a no-go. I'm basically not stunned, but for whatever reason, it just, you know, your worst case scenario. We're gonna get see just by curiosity. Before I ruin it. Okay, still doesn't want to. Well, there it is. I don't know if I caught that very good or very well, but basically what I was trying to get to is, see if I can show you now, is, do you see that spring right there? It's attached to the rod. Okay, you see that? The reason I knew where to go, okay, so it's locking, unlocking, but what was wrong is that if you watch, anyway, I know that that arm with that spring is supposed to move up and down. Trying to see if I could replicate or show you, so that if you ever had this issue, you somewhat have an idea of what I did. Okay. I just wanted to let me see. Anyway, I was trying to get it to move so I could show you, but if you do see that arm right there with that spring, is exactly what it is that I tapped on the top when I was reaching with that long screwdriver, or that long wrench. I don't know how good you saw me, but basically right there is what you want to strike to push down and try to manually get it to unlock. I was jimmying the key is what I was doing with this out here. Since I know that the rod on the inside, see right there for lock and unlock, I knew I could manually do that. So if I could manually do that, see, and as you see, this cable is doing its thing when it's locking and unlocking. Okay, I see something moving down there. Okay, so you see right there where it's moving? That arm is stuck. It's not going down like it should. Essentially, that's what I was triggering. That's how I opened the door. Unfortunately, you know, now that we see, obviously the door handle, that shit was gone regardless. I didn't completely ruin this door panel. Or even this window trim, if I, you know, kind of put everything somewhat back down where it goes. Got a screwdriver in here. I mean, like I said, this is a worst case scenario, and you know, desperate times call for desperate measures, unfortunately. So I mean, as you see, you know, I didn't really damage the door panel much. I did damage the window trim just a little bit, but you know, if someone came and said, hey, this is what I'm going through, this is what I'm gonna have to do. It took me about 40 minutes. This video, you got it to watch it from beginning to end. And again, this is extreme worst case. Usually I would not have to go this far to do this for somebody. It usually opens up with just a couple simple little tricks. I usually can get them open 70% of the time, and the other 20-30% it's like this was worst case scenario, but not worst case scenario. Worst case scenario has been where you know, the unit is so stuck that we had to cut a hole and completely with a hammer destroy the door lock mechanism. I mean, just completely destroy it, hammering it, breaking it piece by piece till there's nothing left, and then you can open the door. That's been one time only extreme. This has probably been the second or third most difficult door I've had to do to open it. Obviously, this is just a parts car. I don't care about this car. I don't care about the parts. Whatever happens, happens. You know, I did my best to, you know, not damage it any further. I think I, you know, somewhat accomplished that. Despite, you know, having to pop this up, I didn't cause any further damage down here. This damage was already there. I did crack it a little further here, but it's not super visual. You know, I'm gonna have to watch this video to see if it's even worth putting up. When I put the phone down, you could have been looking at the roof. I don't know. So, you know, hey, thanks for hanging in there 40-some minutes with me. You could probably fast forward through most of it. You know, if this gave you some advice or some clues or some tips, you know, give me that like, give me a thumbs up, a nice comment. You know, any subscriptions would help. You know, I really haven't publicized the page or mentioned it really to anybody. So most of this is still just me just putting up my own content, and when I feel like I think it's decent enough library to tell people about it, I think I will. Anyway, I don't know if this helped anybody at all, but it's what I was working on or what I had to do, and I was finding a way to get this door open today. and I did it. So thank you guys for watching, and you guys have a good week.